Hi everyone, Chris here from IELTS Advantage with another episode of the IELTS VIP Podcast. So what we do in this podcast is we have a group of VIP students and we ask them every week, give us one question so that we can go very, very deep on that question and give you a very, very detailed answer to that question. So this week what we're going to do is we're going to focus on how to develop main ideas, and we're going to give you a very simple 3-step process that will help you develop your main ideas in IELTS Writing Task 2. Now, before we get into that, a lot of you might think like, do I need to do this? Is it important? Absolutely. It's probably the most important thing that you need to do in the whole of your IELTS Writing Task 2 test. You need to develop your main points. And you need to develop this as a skill, and it's something that you need to practice, you need to get feedback on, and you shouldn't, especially if you need a 7 or above, you shouldn't even do the test. Think about booking the test until you have developed this skill to the level that it needs to be at. So, three steps that we need to take in this system. And there are 3 questions that you need to ask yourself. So, the first stage is you need to think of a relevant, specific idea that answers the question. So what you need to do is take the question and think about this. Ask yourself this question. If 100 people were asked this question, what would the majority of people think? What would the majority of people give as their main idea? So if it says, what is the main disadvantage? If 100 people were asked that, what would the most common idea be? What would be the most obvious, most straightforward idea be? Or if the question was, do you agree or disagree? If the people that were agreeing with it, what would be the number one reason they would give? What would be the main idea that they would give? Or if somebody was asked, what are the problems? What are the solutions? What would be the number one problem? What would be the number one solution? If you asked 100 random people on the street. And what this will do is it will give you the simplest, most straightforward idea. And it will give you the idea that is very, very easy to explain, easy to develop. Try that out next time, because the problem that many of you have is you think that there's like a list of band 9 ideas, a list of band 8 ideas, a list of band 7 ideas. There's no such thing. What there are ideas that answer the question and ideas that don't answer the question. So you need to guarantee that your idea does actually answer the question. You also need to guarantee that you are able to explain that idea and support that idea with evidence. So if you're thinking of the idea that the majority of the world would know, the majority of the world would give, like if you asked 100 people, 90 of them would give this idea, then the idea is going to be very, very obvious to you, and it will be easily explained and easily supported with an example. So you need to put that into your topic sentence. Topic sentence will vary from the different types of question that you're going to have, like opinion questions, discussion questions, problem solution, advantages and disadvantages. But basically what a topic sentence is this is what the paragraph is about. This is my main idea. Now, the problem that many of you have is you will then write things that are very, very general, or you will write things that are unrelated to that main idea. What you need to do is you need to explain how that main idea answers the specific question that has been asked. So what you should do, the second step is, imagine you are writing to a 10-year-old boy who knows nothing about this topic, completely clueless, has never even heard of this topic. And imagine the 10-year-old boy is saying to you, how does this answer the question? Please explain this to me. What that does is it forces you to explain in a very simple way and a very thorough way and a very straightforward way how your main idea, your specific main idea, answers the specific question. And that will normally be 2 or 3 sentences. What you'll do is you will do just that. You will write exactly how your main idea explains the specific question. Once you're done with that, then you can move on to step 3. Imagine the little boy, he reads your topic sentence, he reads your explanation, and then he says to you, so what? Prove it. All right, so prove it with evidence. Give me some sort of evidence that will prove this to me. And what you're going to do then is use an example, and you're going to use an example that would prove this to somebody. Another way of thinking about it is, imagine you're having an argument with somebody. Imagine you're having an argument with your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your husband or your wife, and they said, so what? Prove this. I don't believe you. So you've explained it, but they still don't believe you. What you could do then is use evidence to help support your view. And there are many, many ways that you can write an example, but if you think about it that way, again, what you're doing is trying to simplify it, keeping it as simple and as straightforward as possible. Because for many of you, that what this whole technique and what this whole strategy is about is simplifying it. Because your main enemy is not the IELTS question or IELTS itself or anything. The main enemy is you. The reason for that is because you overcomplicate everything. You think that IELTS is this really complicated test, and task 2 is this really complicated task, and the essay has to be really complicated, and you're overcomplicating everything. It's not a test of IQ or knowledge or anything like that. It's a test of, can you communicate effectively in English? So in order to do that, you need to simplify everything. And I don't mean simplify everything as in ABC, 1, 2, 3, making it as, dumbing it down or anything like that. Is making it as simple and as straightforward as possible. Because the goal is the examiner reads your main body paragraph and they know what your main idea is. They know that you've understood the question. They know that you know how to explain that main idea and support it with evidence. Do you think it's a good idea to make that really, really complex? Or do you think it's a good idea to make it as simple as possible? Try that out, and it should really, really help you improve your main body paragraphs. Thank you very much. That's all for this podcast. And if you need anything, check out our website, IELTSadvantage.com. Thank you very much, guys. Bye-bye.